Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today I'm going to be talking about Black Panther and monarchies. All right, so I saw Black Panther this weekend. 5 out of 5 star movie, absolutely fantastic. This video contains spoilers for Black Panther. All right, so in the movie Black Panther, we get to see monarchies dealt with. Right, so Wakanda has a king, and Wakanda traditionally has a king and a queen. Right now, with T'Challa as the king, there is no queen of Wakanda, right? And we actually see that that T'Challa is trying very hard, very quickly, right away, to establish a queen for his nation. And I think, and that's really interesting, because he's saying, you know, for Wakanda to operate right, he should be king, and there should be a queen as well, right? And there's a particular woman he wants to be queen. Now, one of the things I thought was really interesting is, you know, I absolutely love America. It's just it's the best nation in the world by far. Nothing even comes close, in my opinion. And one of the reasons why is we you know, 240 some odd years ago, I know the number's somewhere around that, is we shattered the idea that a king could ever rule this nation. We refused to be ruled by a king, right? No monarchies, right? And when you look at the Black Panther movie, because it looks at really deep political, cultural, and social aspects of humanity, it talks about monarchies and what happens when you have monarchy. And one of the things that's really fun about the Black Panther movie is you can see the clear advantage and the clear disadvantage of monarchies. Monarchies are awesome when you have a good monarch, right? And they are absolutely calamitous when you don't have a good monarch. Whereas, and the reason why is the power of a king is unquestioned, right? The king can do whatever he elects to do, whatever he chooses to do. Elect is the wrong word there. And so basically, T'Challa is a good king. He thinks about his people all the time. And he thinks, what is best for my people? What is the right choice right now for Wakanda, for the people of Wakanda, right? But when Ninjadaka, also known as Eric Stevens, also known as Killmonger, becomes king, the first thing he does is he says, take the heart-shaped herb, right? This vibranium-infused plant that gives power specifically to the Black Panther, and he says, give it to me, right? So now I have it inside me. I have the strength of the Black Panther, right? But burn the rest of it, right? So that I am the only person who can ever have the power of the Black Panther. I don't care about future kings. I don't care about anyone else on this earth except me, right? And so he takes this precious resource that has been available to many, many people, and that has been preserved for centuries, right? Maybe over a millennia, right? And he destroys it, right? In a moment, in 5 minutes, he undoes centuries of work, right? And that is the danger of a monarch. When you have a bad king, you are going to have a very, very, horrible experience for your people for probably a generation. You know, for 25 to 50 or even 75 years, you will be ruled without wisdom. You may be ruled without wisdom. You may be ruled without mercy. All of these things are incredibly challenging, to deal with, and they bring sadness and strife into the lives of, hundreds of thousands or millions of people, right? And so, so seeing that, in this movie so clearly, here's what happens when you have a good king. Everything's honky-dory. And here's what happens when you have a bad king. Terrible destruction and a disrespect for relics and a disrespect for tradition was visited upon Wakanda within minutes of him being king. Right? Like the pain and the strife for the people of Wakanda started immediately, right? And so, I have to admit it, I find it great fun to look over at Great Britain and see all the, there's a lot of, it's fun just watching the chaos of the British royal family, and but man, it's just watching Black Panther, reminded me, oh my gosh, it's so awesome to be an American. Down with monarchies, down with kings. We are never going to be ruled by a king, right? And so basically, we have a president who has power, but that power is checked. It's checked by Congress. It's checked by the Senate and the House of Representatives. It's checked by the judicial branch, right? That legislative branch is checked, by the judicial branch and Congress itself. And that's an incredible thing. We can't take that for granted. It's really important to understand that that there can never be a tyrant. There can never be a dictator that rises above us. And the reason why is within our own Constitution, we have been given the tools to make sure that we can tear down any dictator, tear down any monarch that ever tries to stand over the American people. And I think that, and that was really clearly, and the need for that, the need to be able to, for the people to be able to remove whenever they choose someone who would raise themselves as a king, right, or even as a queen, that they can be taken down immediately, and so it's just a really, really interesting aspect of the Black Panther film, and I was really, really happy to see it there. Pretty interesting. Take care.